Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we're going to tear apart the transcript of a YouTube video called Grow Taller at Home in 2026. But probably not in the way you're thinking. We're not talking biology or anything like that. Nope, we're looking at something way more interesting. How the shape of a promise, the pure structure of it, can sometimes become the entire message, especially when there's, well, not much else there. And it all kicks off with the very first thing you hear.
Yep, that's it. That's the very first line of the transcript. No hello, no welcome back to the channel, just this. Direct question. It's a hook, right? It's meant to grab you and say, hey, pay attention. It's an invitation, but it's also a challenge. So what exactly are we getting ready for?
Well, this whole thing is built on one simple, really powerful idea. And you don't have to look far to find it. It's right there in the title.
And there it is, a super simple claim. 12 morning stretches can make you taller. I mean, who wouldn't be interested in that? It's easy, you can do it at home, and the payoff is huge. That's the hook, the central promise everything else hangs on. So, how does the video actually deliver on this promise? What's the secret sauce?
All right, so what's the big secret here? What's this revolutionary method they're selling? You'd think it's some complex scientific routine, right? Well, when you actually look at the transcript, let's call it the engine driving this whole thing is incredibly, almost ridiculously simple.
Seriously, this is it. This is the whole blueprint. Step 1, do a thing. Step 2, stop doing the thing. And then just repeat. That's the fundamental pattern, the absolute DNA of this entire workout. The real magic, or so it seems, isn't in what you're doing, but how many times you do this simple little loop.
Okay, so let's see how this thing actually builds out. That simple little pattern we just talked about, it gets all its power, or at least the feeling of power, from being repeated over and over. And the number of repetitions, well, that's defined by one key number.
12. Right from the title, this number is like the magic ingredient. It becomes the guide for the whole routine. It doesn't tell you what to do, not at all. It just tells you how many times you're going to go through that exercise and rest cycle. And just by giving it a number, it suddenly feels like a real, complete program. And we're off. The transcript just says, first exercise. Boom, a clear starting line. The clock is ticking, the routine has started. You feel like you're actually doing something now.
And just like that, it's time to stop. Rest time. Cycle 1 is complete. You've got action, then you've got rest. That rhythm, that back and forth, is set in stone right from the very beginning.
And we're back at it. Next exercise. But hang on a second. Notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say do a cat-cow stretch or hold a downward dog. It's just a blank space. It's a command to do something without ever telling you what that something is. And again, the pause. We're back to rest time. The pattern is totally locked in now. The whole thing just marches on with this steady, predictable beat. Exercise, rest, exercise, rest. It's almost hypnotic, and it makes you feel like you're making progress, even though the actual workout is a complete mystery.
So when you take a step back and look at the whole thing, this is where you see the illusion. What the transcript gives you is a perfect box for a workout. You've got 12 commands to do something and 11 commands to rest. It feels structured, but what's actually in the box? Nothing. Zero details on the actual stretches. It's all timing, no substance.
Okay, so we've gone through all 12 cycles of exercise and rest. We've reached the end, so what's the grand finale? After leading you through this phantom workout, what's the last thing the creator, Krish Nick, leaves you with?
And this is the punchline. The whole thing doesn't wrap up with, great job or here's what to expect. Nope. It ends with the classic YouTuber sign-off. Thank you for watching, subscribe, hit the bell icon. In a split second, the focus flips from your goal of growing taller to their goal of growing their audience. Kind of brilliant in a way.
And that really leaves us with a pretty wild question to think about, doesn't it? The whole experience was built on a promise and a simple, repeating pattern. It felt like a real thing. It had a start, a middle, and an end. But inside, it was completely empty. So it makes you wonder, in this ocean of content we're all swimming in, how often does a really convincing structure trick us into feeling like we got something valuable, when really, we got nothing at all?